Hello friends, welcome to my video blog. I am Dr. Rajshekher, a doctor and a health educator by passion. Last time I spoke a little bit about gaming. Today I want to touch upon a few details on this topic and I want to reveal some astounding facts about it. Now gaming is big business. Almost $100 billion is generated every year in this industry. And 60% of teachers have started using gaming as part of their teaching tools. Teenagers are highly excited about gaming. As you can see, it generates high voltage drama, excitement, and emotions. So many people believe that video games are excellent tools for education and learning. Today I will present three experts in the field to explore the topic. Firstly, Kelly King, an educational consultant, a public school educator teacher for 25 years, a parent of two teenagers, and an author of two books, Strategies for Teaching Boys and Girls, a workbook. So what does she have to say about video games? First thing is, she says it's a boy thing. So let's listen to Dr. Kelly King talk about it.
The things that draw kids, and primarily boys, to video games are the fast action sequence, the aggression themes. You get to blow things up. You get to track objects moving through space. It's very visual spatial. The immediate feedback, the competitiveness of it. And it gives something for kids to talk about. They talk about their video gaming and that sort of thing. So all of those things appeal really to a boy's learning kind of a style.
So these are the reasons why boys are so crazy about video games. Now let's listen to her talk about what is the problem with video games.
The primary problem with video games is not what the kids are doing while they're playing the video games, but rather what they're not doing when they're playing the video games. They're not engaging socially with others. They're not getting any exercise. They're not outside riding a bike. They're not doing homework. And in fact, kids, the more hours in the day that kids spend playing video games is a correlation to reduced grades in school because they're losing out on that academic time. And that's consistent with other kind of computer use, can to an extreme leads to, loss of academic skill and academic achievement. Next on my list of experts is Dr. Richard E. Meyer, PhD. He's a distinguished professor of psychology at the University of California in Santa Barbara. His research interests are in applying science of learning to education. Specifically, he has studied the use of video, multimedia and gaming, and he's even written a book called Computer Games for Learning. For example, Meyer's famous multimedia principle states that people learn more deeply from words and pictures together than from words alone. And he's created many such principles. Principles that were set down by Professor Meyer now form the basis for creating educational videos and animations. So what does Professor Meyer have to say about video games? Well, he says that video games have a strong potential for improving cognitive skills and academic learning. But when you look at the research, you have to take a very cautious approach. Professor Meyer acknowledges that gamers are highly motivated and enthusiastic. So he's worked out a few set of rules based on which a video game can be created to be a good educational tool. And these rules are here, they are seen on the screen here, but I'll just mention them in passing. A good game should be rule-based, should be responsive, should be challenging, and the challenges and the results should be cumulative. So this is what we learned from Professor Richard E. Meyer about computer games. Friends, I say the best for the last. Don't go away. Stay, the best is yet to come. I present to you Dr. Jane McGonigal, PhD in performance and gaming, and who's developed many games. Did a PhD from Berkeley in California, and she is an unabashed gaming enthusiast. Okay, and you know what she says? She says video games can save the world. Watch this video.
3 billion hours a week is not nearly enough gameplay to solve the world's most urgent problems. In fact, I believe that if we want to survive the next century on this planet, we need to increase that total dramatically. I've calculated the total we need at 21 billion hours of gameplay every week. So that's probably a bit of a counterintuitive idea, so I'll say it again, let it sink in. If we want to solve problems like hunger, poverty, climate change, global conflict, obesity, I believe that we need to aspire to play games online for at least 21 billion hours a week by the end of the next decade. No, I'm serious. I am. Here's why. This picture pretty much sums up why I think games are so essential to the future survival of the human species. And this is a classic gaming emotion. Now, if you're not a gamer, you might miss some of the nuance in this photo. You probably see the sense of urgency, a little bit of fear, but intense concentration, deep focus on tackling a really difficult problem. If you are a gamer, you will notice a few nuances here. The crinkle of the eyes up and around the mouth is a sign of optimism. And the eyebrows up is surprise. This is a gamer who's on the verge of something called an epic win. Now, oh, you've heard of that. OK, good. So we have some gamers among us. So an epic win is an outcome that is so extraordinarily positive, you had no idea it was even possible until you achieved it. It was almost beyond the threshold of imagination. And when you get there, you are shocked to discover what you're truly capable of. That's an epic win. This is a gamer on the verge of an epic win. And this is the face that we need to see on millions of problem solvers all over the world as we try to tackle the obstacles of the next century. The face of someone who, against all odds, is on the verge of an epic win. Now, unfortunately, this is more of the face that we see in everyday life now as we try to tackle urgent problems. This is what I call the I'm not good at life face. And this is actually me making it. Can you see it? Yes, good. This is actually me making the I'm not good at life face. This is a piece of graffiti in my old neighborhood in Berkeley, California, where I did my PhD on why we're better in games than we are in real life. And this is a problem that a lot of gamers have. We feel that we are not as good in reality as we are in games. And I don't mean just good as in successful, although that's part of it. We do achieve more in game worlds. But I also mean good as in motivated to do something that matters, inspired to collaborate and to cooperate. And when we're in game worlds, I believe that many of us become the best version of ourselves, the most likely to help at a moment's notice, the most likely to stick with a problem as long as it takes, to get up after failure and try again. And in real life, when we face failure, when we confront obstacles, we often don't feel that way. We feel overcome. We feel overwhelmed. We feel anxious, maybe depressed, frustrated, or cynical. We never have those feelings when we're playing games. They just don't exist in games. Well, I hope that you will agree with me that gamers are a human resource that we can use to do real-world work, that games are a powerful platform for change. We have all these amazing superpowers, blissful productivity, the ability to weave a tight social fabric, this feeling of urgent optimism and the desire for epic meaning. I really hope that we can come together to play games that matter, to survive on this planet for another century. And that's my hope, that you will join me in making and playing games like this. When I look forward to the next decade, I know two things for sure: that we can make any future we can imagine, and we can play any games we want. So I say, let the world-changing games begin. Thank you.
So that was Dr. Jane McGonigal speaking in TED way back in 2010. So friends, at the start of the video, you saw my son playing a video game. And at the end, you saw Dr. Jane, and both of these two people are at one end of the age spectrum, right? And at the other end, you saw two other people who are at the other end of the spectrum, Dr. Meyer and Dr. Kelly King. Now, if you're like me, caught in the middle, and you don't know what to do, then there are three options. Okay? First, you could resist the change, fight the trend, or number two, you just give up. Let it be. I can't do anything. And the third one is that you realize that gaming is here to stay, and you help to improve it, to make it into a good learning tool. So choose wisely. Thank you for listening to me. Bye.